Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. And very recently the P-38L Lightning from Flying Iron Simulations went through an update and it boasts quite a few things, and today we are going to check them out. If you are interested in acquiring any of my Overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, please consider joining me on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future updates and future guides that will be coming down the road. Link to Patreon can be found in the description below. Alright, so jumping right into it here. The latest update boasts everything from improvements to their little iPad thing that's in the cockpit, texture updates, flight model improvements, sound improvements, you name it, the works. So we're going to take the aircraft up for a spin once again. I already thoroughly enjoyed this aircraft. If you guys missed that, be sure to stick around for the rest of the video as you get to see the aircraft in its full performance. We're going to see taxi improvements, landing improvements, takeoff performance, rudder improvements. There's a whole bunch of different things that were adjusted with this aircraft, and so we are going to start spinning around here. Forgive the camera movement. It's always really weird when I'm using the head tracker using the camera here, so forgive me. But as you guys can see, the exterior of this aircraft really looks fantastic. I mean, just looks nice and beautiful. I've loved this aircraft since I was a young boy, so I'm really stoked about it. All right, jumping into the cockpit. Let me set myself up here accordingly here, because I got my zoom a little too far in. So first thing we're doing is we're going to come down. Actually, before we do that, guys, in case you missed it, look at all of the detail. It's going to give you a minute to sort of take a peek at everything. I mean, it just looks beautiful. The cockpit looks amazing. I love it. Nothing looks oversaturated or under detailed. I mean, just so much emphasis was focused or put into the cockpit here. I mean, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But anyway, let's get going here. So we're going to jump right into it and get the aircraft started up. So first thing we're going to do is step downstairs here and turn our battery on. Then we're going to swing back behind the seat here, or to the left of the seat, and we're going to start, there we go, with our fuel tanks. We want our fuel tanks on the reserves here for startup. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And you know what? I think I got ahead of myself here a little bit as far as what I want to show you guys. Let's turn the battery back off so we don't kill it. Let's pull our pad out here. All right. So first off, this is extremely well done. I love this thing. So you got your checklist, everything from before start, run-up check, engine start, after start. I feel like the run-up check's in the wrong spot, but takeoff, your approach, even shows you your speed, which is always really nice. Miscellaneous settings that you can adjust. V-speeds. This is really nice. Designed cruise speed 275 miles per hour. Remember, this was before knots technically, but they've even got the knots conversion back over here, which is nice to see. Maximum landing gear extended at 175 knots, or excuse me, 152 knots, 175 miles an hour. Let's see what we got. Our rotation speed. Rotation speed at 80 knots, or 80 miles an hour. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep screwing myself up. It's so weird. I will admit, trying to remember to say miles per hour. But super handy here. This is one of the things that can always be a little tricky to find. Flaps extended. You got your miles per hour, 150 miles per hour at 40 degrees, 250 at 20 degrees, and 250 at 8 degrees as well. Live data. This is all live aircraft performance, and we'll take a look at that once the engine is started, and just so you guys can see it. I don't know how to necessarily read all of it, but I'm sure we could figure it out pretty quickly. But even look down here. We got our wind direction 199 at 5 knots, temperature 28.8, and current barometric pressure at 2984. I mean, how awesome is that? If you're like me and you hate the in-game ATC, you don't have to call them. Anyways, loadout coming over here. We got our fuel load. You can set it for long range, medium range, or short range. We're just going to do short range today. We're going to keep it nice and close to home. The combined drag of the two drop tanks will decrease maximum speed by about 25 miles per hour. I love that. Autopilot, we've even got an autopilot setting if you need it. Definitely, again, very nice. You can set your altitude, heading, and level off, obviously. And obviously turn the autopilot on and off. I mean, just, it's simple, but it's nice. Avionics, you can set your GNS 430, the Garmin 430. You can have your gun sight turned on if you want. You can have that up there. The yoke, you can enable it and disable it from here if you want. But again, I just like to go down and click it. Pushback services if you need it. I mean, just a really well done. Realism settings, engine damage, and hypoxia. I'm leaving both those off today because I'm still in that Disneyland phase with the P-38, so I tend to do some dumb things with it that would normally probably get me in trouble. So, you know, forgive me for that, but at least I'm honest ahead of time, right? So now let's go ahead and get her started up. So we're going to go with the battery. And again, swinging back here, make sure our fuel tanks are set to the reserve. Come up, put our fuel pumps on. Step forward again here, back to the forward panel. We want to make sure our magnetos are in the on position. This is the magneto master switch. And then you have the individual magneto settings. Now by default, they should already be in the both position. But just in case you want to double check that. Okay, next we're going to come over to our mixture knobs, bring them full forward, or mixture handles. Bring that prop full forward, just like any other complex aircraft. Give that throttle a nice crack. And let's begin our engine start process. So for the engine start, it's actually very, very simple. Oh, you know what? I want to get rid of that Garmin. I don't like it. It ruins my moment. Boop. Okay. Anyway. So now for the good stuff. To close the canopy, we're going to come up here, give this a tap. Boom, there it is. You want to make sure that you close your lock levers here, and as I discovered very late in the flight last time, you want to make sure to roll the windows up. Simply hold left click down and they will come on up. But I think that's a really, again, lot of detail focused in the cockpit. Really enjoyed that. All right, so at this point we're going to prime our left engine. We're going to start with a 5 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Give that a release. Then you have your engage and your start switches. Down for right engine, up for left engine. We're going to start with the engage and give that a click and hold it. Let the propeller spin up for a second. That's pretty good. And then very quickly, we're going to let go and move over to the starter. So letting go. There she goes. And she's alive. Oh, shame on me. I didn't set the parking brake. Boop. Shame, shame, shame. So, pre-flight check, basics, right? I told you, I do dumb stuff in this airplane. I get super excited to get her up and rolling. Make sure your parking brake is set, because clearly it is not by default. All right, so let's rinse and repeat with our right engine here. So again, start with the engage. Oops, I did not mean to hit the start switch. We're going to start with the primer, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Start the engager. Let it get a good rotation going. It's good. And move over and give her a click. And we should be alive on both engines. Alright, we want to make sure our oil cooler flaps are at least in the automatic position. Set our intercoolers to the open position. Coming up front, nav lights, set them to bright for day. Turn our compass on. And that is it. She's ready for taxi. You can do the pre-run up if you choose. I can tell you right now I'm not going to, and you guys can guess why. Because I want to fly it. Alright, so let's go ahead and reset my camera here. Alright, and at this point, let's release that parking brake, pull that throttle back. Uh-oh. Just a second. This keeps on happening, and it is my rudder pedals are turned off. Give me a second. Alright. We're good to go now. Ooh, she likes to get rolling. We even have the counter-rotating props in this. Prop simulation looks great. Let's set that barometric pressure. I kind of forgot to. Just tap the B on the keyboard there. Oh yeah, rudder control is fantastic now. It was a little sluggish last time, a little hard to turn it. Now it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that thing, man. I'm trying to be a little quieter this time, not chat so much so you guys can see it, feel it. Must have been so awesome flying these things in real life. Must have been such a beautiful experience. Alright, now we're going to be doing a little bit of back taxi here. But let's go ahead and turn our pitot heat on. Turn landing lights on. Take the runway here. Taxi down to the end of the runway and then come back the other way for takeoff. So I'll catch you guys when we're ready to turn around here. Alright, so we're ready to bring her back around now. Alright, let's set flaps 1. 8 degrees. Alright, so we're going to be looking for about 45 inches on the manifold pressure. RPMs, I believe we're going to be going full max power for takeoff at 80 miles per hour. We're going to be looking for rotation and then flaps up by 500 feet and obviously gear up on positive rate. So let's bring our flight yoke back. Doesn't look like it blocks too much. Yeah, God, that looks good. Alright, let's see what happens here. See if I'm as terrible as I think I am. Listen to those engines roar, man. Alright, we're at 49 inches. Come on, right rudder. Come on, there we go. Oof, there's 80. Come on. Wow, that was weird. Alright, so I can almost guarantee that was pilot error. I waited way too long to take action. She was actually handling perfectly fine. I didn't take off when I should have taken off. Alright, let's bring the RPMs back to about 2,500. Let's get our manifold pressure back to about 35 inches. 500 feet, flaps up. Did that gear come up? I'm not convinced it did. There it goes. I didn't think I heard it. Look at that, guys. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. sounds great, flies beautiful. Love everything about this plane. It's got some amazing history. The whole nose was interchangeable. It could be a reconnaissance plane, a fighter, ground attack, air to air. It's faster than you know what for its time. Once the pilots were truly taught how to extend the range, that's how they ended up getting Yamamoto. Well, it was believed that the P-38 shot down Yamamoto. You hear the G breaths? I love that. I don't think you can actually black out, but I know you can overstress the aircraft. According to the sim. I don't know how legit that is. I know it's far less likely to overstress the aircraft than anything the sim typically simulates. Man. And it's funny too because, excuse me, the wife made me a spicy dinner. You know. Mercy. She made me some good old-fashioned stir-fry. It's got a little bit of a kick to it. It was getting the back of my throat there. This is what I love doing in these kind of planes. Taking them down low, ripping up the scenery, or getting way above the clouds. Watch the nose orientation in relationship to the turn, and you guys will hopefully get an idea of the flight model. Definitely major differences between last time. So I'm using just aileron, and you can see how she's sort of sliding into the rested position, right? So there's the slide, okay, and then it sort of balances out. There's the slide again. I mean, you can watch it sort of shifting from one side to the other. I mean, definitely major improvements to the flight model. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I love it. This aircraft is so much fun. Now at this point, actually, come to think of it, boop. No, actually we're down pretty low still. We'll leave the intercoolers on. Those are already on automatic. Let's punch it, shall we? So we're gonna add a bit more prop in, get that RPM going up, pull her high. And this is why I have engine failures turned off, because I guarantee I'm doing something dumb right here. But I don't care. It's one of those like, how much do you care? I want to see what happens if we try to stall a P-38. I have yet to do that. So let's see, what's our airspeed? Alright, we're looking at 80 right there. Oh, she's still climbing up, man. Look at this. Like it's nothing. Just crawling up. There's 70. I'm really pulling hard on that nose, man. Come on, there's the dip, there's the dip, there's the dip. Ooh, and she's rolling. Alright, let's see what happens. I have no idea how the P-38 is supposed to handle this stall. But that was pretty rock and rolly, man. Alright, let's pull those RPMs back. And full pressure back before I make something angry. That was fun. It's a great plane to fly in VR if you have not yet. I highly recommend it if you have it. And Alright, so let's see what airspeed is. Right now we're pushing almost 500 miles an hour, so let's really start pulling some power off. We're going to bring that propeller pitch way back, pull the RPMs off to about 2,000. We're coming through a cloud here. Here's 250 knots at 250 miles an hour. We'll clear flaps 1 and flaps 20, so let's go ahead and go to 20. It was 250, right? Max gear drop, we were looking at 175 miles an hour. Look at the airspeed drop as we turn. You would not believe how many aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator actually don't have very significant airspeed drop when you pull hard on the bank. Alright, so there's that. Let's go ahead and come gear down. Now I'm going to bring up our handy dandy checklist, hopefully before slamming into the ground. Trim nose up a little bit. You can see the animation on the trim wheel. Love it. Again, it's simple things. Do we have an approach speed here? There's stall speeds. I probably should have hit the flaps up. Oh no, stall speed for flaps up would have been about 94 miles an hour. We dropped a little bit higher than that. No, airspeed's reading miles per hour. So let's see here. I'm not seeing anything on the approach speed unless I'm missing it. Max normal speed operations and max speed with drop tanks, gear extended. 175 miles, we got that part. Rotation speed at 80 knots or 80 miles an hour. So I think if we call 85, 90 miles an hour for approach speed, we should be good. Alright, I know the nose is going to drip. Let's just do that. Alright, what's our airspeed at currently here? We're looking at 140. And I believe we already have gear down. Ah! Yep, we do. Darn camera views. Okay, we have gear down and we're sinking like a rock. So I'm going to bring some manifold pressure back in, as well as the RPMs. And I lost sight of our runway. There it is. Right, there's our runway. We took off to sea, if memory serves, right? What's our heading? We should be landing to the south. Looks right. Okay. Alright, so we're looking at 130 on the box there. Let's get the nose down a bit. Alright, now we'll go ahead and pull some manifold pressure off, get her back down to our RPMs back to about 2,500. Manifold pressure still sitting about 2,000. Minor descent, not too bad. You're looking at about 300 feet per minute right there. Trying to hold right about that. Just a beautiful flight. This thing's a dream. Eyes out the window now. Airspeed's high. Go full flaps now. Dump the rest of that airspeed there. RPMs to full, manifold pressure coming up a bit. There's about 100 miles an hour. I'd say 90 was a bit optimistic. Now you can see we're crabbing a little bit, so we're going to slip a little. A bit of a crosswind. This is a good crosswind. Look at this. it down on those numbers. Come on, baby, on the keys, not the numbers. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oof, mercy, mercy. Still got a lot of learning to do. Got a lot of learning to do, but she's such a fun plane, you guys. Such a fun plane. Highly recommend this aircraft. This latest update is just as fantastic as the day it was released. So much better. The flight model, the texture work, the pad. I don't remember what they call it. I forgot. But gosh, guys, get a hold of this aircraft. If you trusted anything that I ever say on this channel, guys, get a hold of it. Ooh, don't trust my flying though. My flying is a whole different story. My flying will get you in trouble. But let's see here. Get the darn thing stopped. Let's get our landing lights turned off. Let's get the pitot heat turned off. Clean up those flaps. Alright, let's taxi back to parking here. Anyways, guys, I truly hope you enjoyed this video. Please, 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 if you haven't had the chance yet, check out the P-38. I know a lot of people say, you know, why military aircraft Microsoft Flight Simulator? Because, you know, why do private pilots own P-51 Mustangs? You know what I mean? I mean, because it's a joy to be a part of that piece of history, to get a chance to, even in simulation, to fly something that is so much history and such an old aircraft. It just really is a neat experience, especially when you get these developers who really take a lot of effort and time out of their days to make these aircraft as fantastic as they are. Anyway, as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in the next one.